So here we are, it's Saturday 23rd of August, 8:30 p.m. And while most folks are out in restaurants or pubs or at a gig or whatever socialising, here I am out in the countryside looking for cats. What a life. But then that's the price you pay for your art, I guess. So there's been a delay on the meet-up for the research team. It was supposed to be happening the weekend after next, but due to location and availability, it's been postponed. So I think it's going to be in November now. So if it's that time of year, I'll be packing the thermals anyway, that's for sure. That could be a very chilly trip. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad. Now I got another black leopard sighting in last week. It was seen walking along the edge of a field adjacent to a road, 2:30 in the morning, caught clearly in the headlights. A couple coming home, they saw it. They were a bit creeped out by it. Now the interesting thing there is that it's pretty close to the location where I am certain I saw a young black leopard. I talked about that in a previous video. Of course now you might want to speculate, is there a mother and a young one going about? But unless somebody sees them together, you just don't know. But it is interesting because the two are not even half a mile apart, those two sightings. Now not even maybe a mile and a half from those locations, a colleague of mine, one night her cat came in through the cat flap at quite a speed, defecated on the lobby floor, and then went into a corner with its ears right back on its head and was just looking in the direction of the door. And she says something scared that cat pretty bad. And I said, well, I might know what could have done that. Now folks might say, oh, it could be a fox, you know, or maybe a badger or something like that. Well, it's okay, it's a country cat, it's going to be familiar with all those animals. But that's the only time it's behaved like that. And I'm quite sure it would have encountered foxes and such like before. It's probably seen pine martens and weasels, stoats, black mink, which we have up here. They're not, I don't think they're very prolific, but I have seen one at two different locations, some 8 miles apart. So they're definitely around. So that's quite another little bit to add to that. But it's quite interesting, once people know you're looking into this subject, they'll give you a lot more information about what's going on where they live. You know, especially with animals and stuff like that. So it sort of it helps paint a bit of a picture. So anyway, I'm here tonight. I'm just going to do an observation. But I've seen 2 red deer so far. So I think if the deer are about, they don't seem, well, hard to tell what their mood is. They took off when they saw me, but if they're kicking around, I don't think there's any predators about. Nothing that'll bother them anyway. But you never know, because this is where I had the object in the thermal. I filmed it coming back up, coming down into a field, then going back up. I'm just seen another deer over there. I'll just watch just to make sure it is a deer. Yeah, I think he's seen me. Where's he crossing now? Where is that? Oh yeah, the usual place. Yeah. They've got a couple of crossing points over between next to the forest. Same trails the whole time. That's quite a size of deer actually, that's a big one. I mean, the distance I'm at, and what I'm seeing in detail. Oh, he's come back down this way now. Oh, that's a monster, that one. Well, well. Right. So anyway, oh wait, 1, 2, 2 now. I'm not seeing any more. Is that a smaller one there now? 3. Okay, so they're moving around. Right, I'll show you the gear I take with me when I'm out for an observation. I'm getting sidetracked by that deer over there. I think they're all, don't know, they were planning coming this way and they've gone away now. Or they're not sure what they're doing. Right, I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so I've got this night vision by Deesun, just your typical Chinese stuff. It's about 3 years old now. Pretty basic, but it does the job for me, but I would like something a bit better in time. Got the old head torch, absolutely essential. And equally essential, I can assure you, take a spare torch. Because if your first torch dies on you, and you're out in pitch black in the middle of nowhere, that's scary. And the light on your phone isn't going to do you much good either. It's not very good. I started carrying 2 torches after being out one night, and I turned round and there was an eye shine in the gorse looking at me, looking quite intently at me as well, I might add. And it began to make me a bit nervous, and then of course the torch started dying, so I really got nervous, and I wasn't running, but I was moving very quickly to get away. So I also have my thermal here, picks from mile 20 I think it is, 7mm. This has got a 256 by 192 processor I think on it. And that's okay, but I've been looking at reviews of equipment, of thermals, and I think I have to go up to something that's about 640 by 390 I think it is, a sensor, so you'll get nice crisp imagery with that, and that's what you really need. This is okay up to, say, maybe you get a decent enough image up to about 30-40 meters, but once you go beyond that, it's blob city basically. So blobs aren't handy when you're trying to work out what it is you're watching. So a bit more detail is always good. There's not a breath of wind out here tonight, so that's good. And where are the deer gone now? Ah, they're away. Well, you never know, something might be following them, we shall see. But the plan is to observe up here for a while, and then I'm going back down next to the fields where I caught that thermal image before, and I'll just watch for a while there. I'll maybe stay out about 10 or something like that. The nights they're starting to draw in now, and it's definitely getting a bit chillier at night. Right, so we'll go up the track a bit, maybe go into that field and have a look too. Here's one of the typical things that happens when you're out. You're scanning around with a thermal, you lower the thermal to look with the naked eye, and something shoots across a track ahead of you. Could just be a fox. It wasn't a deer, it was low. So we'll go up and have a look. But when I show you all the grass and that, chances of seeing what it is are pretty slim. Right, whatever that was went from that gorse there across the track here. I must have gone either through the fence or it's gone and leapt over it. But I didn't see a leaping motion anywhere. And that would certainly catch my eye, so I'm thinking probably just a fox. It would nip through the gaps in that fence wire, no bother. Probably just a fox. excitement over. There's not much happening here. I'm going to hang about for a good while yet. But if nothing happens, I'll just be back in the next video.